What's up, everyone? So, man, today it's just kind of sad because, you probably heard about the whole shooting, and that's just really messed up. Um, and I'm thinking today for my video I make, I'm thinking it's gonna be a little different. I'm thinking I'm gonna go on a walk and kind of just talk about, my thoughts and stuff. And I'm actually starting to feel like, hey, what up, Kirk? The style of my videos, my long form videos, I think the beginning of them, I'm really feeling like, um, you know, half my channel, I want it to be content like the beginning, the ending part of the video, I'm gonna do the market recap. But the beginning part, I'm thinking, trading isn't just the actual understanding of the price action. It's understanding of the charts. It's also understanding of human psychology. And right, you guys probably saw, the whole thing that happened today, and it's just like, it makes me really sad. And it's just like, I'm gonna talk more about it in the video. I'm probably not gonna get too much into it, but it's just kind of just messed up that a human being would do that to another human being. Not. And then also just like I don't want people to suffer, and that's just not. I don't know. Violence isn't the answer, so it's just it's really upsetting. And like, anyway, I'm gonna talk more about it in the video. But guys, I just thought I'd say something about that. Makes me really sad, but anyway, guys, we're going to be looking at price action today, looking at what happened in general, and yeah, in my video, like I said, in my video today, it's going to be maybe a little different. I'm going to be talking about just in general. I'm going to be connecting, finding peace in life. I'm going to be connecting, in my video today, I'm going to try and connect finding peace in life and how it connects to actual trading. And I actually think it might be one of my better videos. So, but yeah, definitely, feeling, heartbroken after that. That's just not, no one should have to go through that. It's just really sad, family and kids and stuff, But, yeah, anyway, I'll talk more about it in the video. So, anyway, let's go into, yeah, man, it's messed up, dude. No one should have to die like that, bro. No one deserves to. And then the family, like the kids, the wife. Anyway, in my video today, I'm going to talk about finding peace and connect it all together to trading and the whole situation. So, let's just jump into the charts because I probably got to get going with the day. So, today, right, we had our news wick. Giant wicks on either side. It is messed up, man. So upsetting. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about price action, right? It was tricky today. I feel like past few days have all been kind of tricky. I mean, look at this. This is not great. Not great. All New York session, and I think this is just one of those days, once again, where you have to be aware of, once again, price action is not giving much opportunity to us, and we have to be aware of that and observe the conditions, right? Observe what's really going on here, and how the market is moving here, right? And every single day, always ask yourself, is price action truly in high probability conditions to trade? If the answer is even considered to be no, yeah, it's a good idea. Obviously, I might start doing that soon. Um, I think that that's important. I'm not gonna lie. I've been kind of against it for a while because I don't like the um, I don't like the way that Forex Replay generates the candles, the way that it glitches one by one. But I think, that's probably going to actually translate to the skill of trading a little better. So I get what you're saying. It's just, one, the chart colors are different. I don't have my indicators. I don't have, it's hard to switch between time frames. There's a million reasons why I don't like it, but a lot of people tell me I should. And I just wish that there was a built-in version in Tradeovate or TradingView that was actually good, right? But I get what you're saying, Abby. I'll think about it. A lot of people have told me that. Anyway, Wednesday. But also, I do just like to review price action for the day, right? I think it's valuable to do a recap of the day and do record everything down. So pay attention to price action. Yeah, guys. I mean, this price action was just so bad today. I think my video today, my market recap, is definitely going to be a lot more psychological because it all kind of ties together. Like the whole situation with Charlie today, like the whole situation with, just people having a hard time with trading. It's like hard to find peace. I feel like it just all kind of connects. And, there's just not much to talk about for price action. I mean, this is not ideal. There might have been, I think the one opportunity was probably that we come back to this breaker. And, right, this is probably the only opportunity was we come back to this breaker within premium. And then off of this, we essentially get a soup of the high, and then 30-second change in state. I think that's really one of the only opportunities here. And I kind of thought that it was going to happen here, but we had to push up one more time and sweep the high. But once again, it's not anything obvious. I probably would not take this. I almost certainly wouldn't. But, I'll still mark it out. Where'd it go? So you can see this whole entire range here as accumulation, and maybe, you know what's nice about this, guys? This is the opening range. This is a great example of the opening range. I haven't seen a good example of this in a while, or maybe at all, but the opening range from 9:30 to 10:30. This is literally called there's a name for it. Starts with an S. Well, I don't know. It's called like the splooge or something. Like, it's not that, but like the range of 9:30 to 10:30, maybe it's 9:30 to 10. It's got the most volume, right? So this is gonna be very, very liquid. These highs and lows. So I can't remember what it's called. Splooge? It's not splooge. Yeah, I can't remember. We'll just call it the opening range. Right? Very clear opening range. Tap into a 5-minute breaker within premium of this. And then we move off of this breaker. Right? And important, just Sometimes it's just very valuable just to have the whole opening range marked out from 9:30 to 10:30 because this is going to be super liquid. Meaning the highs and lows are going to be, they're going to be very, very, they're going to have a lot of stop losses, right? So sometimes, let's mark this out. Sometimes you literally just want to mark out the opening range. So once again, opening range, 9:30 to 10:30. And yeah, you can see this is essentially what happened for the day, right? We have the opening range, we sweep the high. That's how you can tell it's manipulation, right? We should see. Let's see if we had SMT there, right? That's always going to be a good sign. Yeah, we do have SMT. You know what else? It's like I always say, guys, these markets are perfect, and every time I try and think, oh, today it just wasn't that good. It's like, no, it was perfect, and you just suck, right? Because what's this? This is the high of 9 to 10:30. Oh, I guess the high of 9 to 10:30 is this high. Oh, but we still have SMT with it. Oh, wow. Look at this. 9 to 10:30. The high of that's right here. Wow, look at this. 90-minute SMT with this high. And then we also have a lower time frame SMT with this high. So I'm just going to screenshot this, and then I'm going to, don't beat myself up. Yeah, I'm not beating myself up. My video today, guys, I haven't made it yet, but I'm kind of just going to YOLO it. I kind of have an idea for what I'm going to say. I think today's video might be one of the best videos I've ever made, because I'm just going to free rant, and I'm going to be talking about peace and, the whole thing with Charlie Kirk, and like finding peace in our lives and how that relates to trading. It kind of all ties in together, and I think today's video could be really, really good. I'm going to talk about, like, there's a paradox, right? There's a paradox. I don't want to get too much into it, but there's a paradox that happens when we're trying to be profitable traders, where we want profitability to bring us, so we can have, our life get better, have peace. But ironically, having the peace in your life is what brings profitability. And so it's this paradox that's going on. So I think, the more we can find peace in our lives, the more the world's going to be better off in general. And I feel so bad for, what happened today. And I think the world needs more peace, man. But anyway, I'm going to talk about that more in the video. So, yeah. Sometimes opening range, highly have a lot of liquidity at the highs and lows. Dedicated to Gaza. What's going on in Gaza? Yeah. So yeah, man, trading's hard, guys. And you know, the issue is here's the biggest issue about trading. Everyone sits behind closed doors, and oh yeah, that's a good idea, Kirk. Yeah. Um. Anyway, like I was saying, there's the issue with trading is everyone kind of sits behind these like screens, making other people feel like crap because, oh wow, you took a loss, or ah wow, you suck, right? But the reality is that most people can't see is this giant, you know, most of social media, right? 80% of social media is profits, and it's only the winning days from very rare people that very rarely win, versus what you don't see, and I talked about this in the video from a while ago. What you don't see is that almost every trader is struggling. Like almost every single one. The rare few that don't, they've they're like the people that have completely mastered themselves, and even they lose too, right? And so we all look at trading in this weird way, this warped way, where we think there are people that literally just win all the time, and those people they don't exist. They don't exist. Everyone out here in trading is struggling, and it's just a giant illusion portrayed by social media that other people are. There are people that exist that are super profit, like they're like wizards and they're always right. There's just a myth. They don't exist. If they do, they're extremely rare, and that's just not the right way trading needs to be portrayed. It makes me kind of upset, but yeah, man. But I agree with what you're saying about that, though. It's like we just need peace. We need Jesus, and whatever. I think it's kind of crazy. God is like TGR literally said like we need God today. I was not expecting that. I'm not gonna lie. He said that on Twitter. I was like, oh wow. I'm too legit. Yeah, no one else does what I do for a reason, right? No one else is what I do. It's the scariest thing for almost everyone because it exposes them, right? And I'm out here just like, hey guys, this is trading. This is the reality. We lose, right? Traders lose. That's literally in the name, trading. We're taking on risk. Sometimes we're gonna win. Sometimes we're gonna lose. The idea is you hopefully win more than you lose. And if you don't, then you just keep trying and keep getting better because it's very obvious that the markets seek old highs and lows. You know what I mean? Very obvious that the markets move to manipulate and then distribute and target old highs and lows. Okay, so how could you take this, right? We had a 5-minute breaker. Like I was saying, right? You might not even use standard deviations for this because you have a 5-minute breaker. You have stacked S&Ts. So all we really need to do is we have the change state. But once again, guys, I don't think today was high probability price action. Even if I saw this live, I don't think I would take this because it's just not obvious. But once again, I think it's worth noting because once again we were on one side of the range and I'd actually target the end of these bodies here, right? Now I'm not saying that this is, but I just want to mark it out, right? Worth noting. So maybe something like that. Actually, you know what kind of makes more sense is just trying to target the liquidity pool here. Yeah, sometimes you just have to take your money and run. Like This is a whole separate trade of a different. It's a whole separate trade. So we should just take the trade, and then this is a whole separate trade down to that low. Yeah, 5-minute breaker. Once again, it's not always easy to see these, but that's why I like to mark them out, because you just gotta keep getting better, right? And then 30-second change of state. And yeah, stacked SMTs, and then eventually we go to the opposite side of the opening range, right? Yeah, we'll take a look at that. That's a good thing to look at for sure, Kirk. Yeah. But this was a soup. I don't know how you could have known it was a soup, but it definitely was a soup, right? Maybe we tap that. Maybe we have a Reaper gap here on the low time frame. It's possible. Okay, so 5-minute breaker, 30-second change in state. Once again, I'm not saying I would take this because it looks like consolidation and chop, but I just want to mark it. Just for the sake of marking it, just to mark trades down, because it's decent. Flow state retest. And then 15-minute aligning with the 1 minute, right? No, 5-minute aligning with the 30-second. And then the other thing I'm going to show is, let's say you had conviction that we were going to go to the opposite side of the opening range, which I don't think I would, but let's say you did for some reason, right? This is just like a, opening range type of trade where you literally just target. This is like the RTH gap a little bit, where you can just target the opposite side, and yeah, right? It's kind of reminds you a little bit of the RTH gap, doesn't it? Where we take out one side and then we go to the other side. Range, highly liquid, stop losses at either end. Okay. So this is a 1055 flow state retest. Oh, I marked it out as 15-minute, 30-second. Okay, let's change that. And then yeah, we'll take a look at the data high and low. But yeah, guys, I'm thinking I actually might start going on like, walks and stuff, or like do my market recaps outside sometimes, because environment's a lot. Like, environment's everything, and like if I'm just in a chill state, a chill environment, I feel like it'd make my videos better. But okay, so the data high, data low. This is right. The main thing that happened is kind of what I called out live on stream, at least from what I saw, which was we pushed into that 2-minute rejection block with SMT. So I kind of already had this marked out, but we had a rejection block here, and I marked this out on stream, right? 2-minute rejection block, and we ended up getting SMT with the high of that rejection block, and that was it, dude. That was about as simple as it got, and we had stacked SMTs. So SMT here, and then we ended up having a low time frame SMT here, and that's where the true inducement ended up happening, right? This is where, if you can be very, very quick on your feet and you like have like 200 IQ, you can realize this is probably a soup when all those SMTs all line up at once now, and then take it with super tight stop loss. Now am I able to do that? Probably not, but still. Right, so 2-minute rejection block, and then what I was looking at is we align this with the 10-second. And we induce this high. And then once we get this, okay, this, look at this displacement candle. And if you aren't sure, you can wait, right? It's totally fine, but this one, it's honestly okay. I was thinking this was okay, but once again, I wasn't sure, and so that's okay. That's okay, I didn't take it. I mean, once again, right? Quality over quantity, but I do think this was kind of cool. I did spot this out live, right? So sometimes, maybe it's worth taking the risk, but, you know, at some point you just have to say, you know what, I have to take a risk on a trade, I might as well just do it. But as well, you want to make sure it's a trade where you're like, if this did fail, I'm not gonna regret it at all. That's the main thing. And when I take a trade and I see that it fails, the main thing is, you know, am I proud of this loss? Would I take this loss again? That kind of stuff. Not did it win, did it lose, right? That stuff, it's all helpful for the outcome, but not helpful in the sense of, you know, entering it beforehand. Beforehand, all I know is the setup. And so I just have to be objective about it. But I do think this is kind of cool, right? It's just, the reason this is so nice, guys, is because it is really clear this is an accumulation range and then a manipulation of the accumulation range with stacked SMTs. And obviously, you know, I'm not perfect. I wish I was. I wish I could see all this in the moment. I'm not. It's so hard, but one day, guys, one day. Right, so stacked SMTs. And yeah, inducing this high. So accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. Imagine if you souped that. That would be so sick. I wish I was that good at trading. But this is what I mean when I say it's all about finding our inner peace. Like, you do not need to be perfect by any means to get really, really good trades. Like, all this trade is 9-1, and all you did is just wait for the change in state off with the S&Ps. But if you don't have peace of mind, catching a trade like this is near impossible, because you're not thinking about the trade, you're thinking about the outcome. You're thinking about how much you're gonna lose if it's a loss, how much you're gonna win if it's a make, how much you're gonna win if it's a win, how much money you're gonna make. And that is the core of the psychology that makes up these markets in the first place. That's why these markets are so hard to beat, is because, you know, we're competing. This is other people that are just like you and me that we're going up against, that also, you know, worked hard for their money, that also have emotions. They're human just like you and me. And so how do you beat a system that you are also, it's also built to beat you as well? You have to think differently, right? You have to remodel your literal human psychology, which is which is why it's so hard. That's why it's so hard. And why I say, like, why I'm going to talk about in my video today, how important it is that you have peace, right? Man, I say that so gently because I am still working on that personally. I want to, be able to say that for myself, and it's not always easy, guys. It's not. But yeah, 2-minute key level, 10-second changing state, drop down to the data low. That was a nice market open trade. Once again, guys, market open is a lot of the time it's gonna deliver price towards the draw on liquidity, whatever that may be. So just keep that in mind. Or even news can as well. But it is kind of scary to do, I will admit. 928. Flow state retest. 2-minute, 10-second. Okay, so once again, guys, we have to be very careful. Even though this 1-minute inversion isn't terrible, and I took it, right? I literally took this trade. We have to be very careful because I don't think price action is perfect. I couldn't ever take that trade. Yeah, I like I said, I don't regret not taking that. I don't regret not taking that at all because I think it was risky. That's why I didn't take it. As far as this inversion goes that I took live on stream that lost, I think for the most part it was decent, right? And I think Dodgy even says, like, this is a good loss. But I will be a critique because I do think it's important to be a critique. And that is, even though we have a good inversion, I just don't like price action still. I do not think price action is obvious yet. And so, I don't know. Even though this inversion works, price action is still not in its prime, I would say. That's just, I don't know. You could disagree with me, and that's fine. I don't know if wary is the right word, but whatever. So yeah, once again, good loss. I took this loss. I shouldn't have taken it, though, right? I shouldn't have taken it because I wasn't able to click the button all at once on all across my accounts, which is a big, big issue. Yeah, he really does, dude. So true. But the reason I don't think I should have taken this is because when I enter, I want to be able to click that button across all my accounts at the same exact time. And if I can't do that, if I am only able to enter, this is what happened today, right? I wrote this down in my notepad, actually. This is what I wrote down. When I take a trade, it needs to be thoughtful, confident, and disciplined across all my accounts. If I can't do that, that alone is a reason not to take the trade. And in my opinion, because of that, I should not have taken it, and that would have prevented the loss because I wasn't set up to take it, right? Didn't have all the accounts ready. So, yeah. Once again, I can't be taking setups on one account and not all the accounts. That's just not according to my rules. Inversion that lost thoughts. Yeah. Not perfect. Once again, this is not perfect, but could have worked, didn't. But it was okay. I would argue this 1 minute change in state is much more obvious. Because this 1 minute change in state, it actually looks like we're going to go higher. And it looks like we've actually thoroughly swept liquidity. So I would argue this 1 minute change in state is a lot more obvious. And then you could target this high. Or I'd actually probably target consequent encroachment of the rejection block. Or I'd even target the bodies. So maybe you take this as a 1 minute change in state. I kind of like that, personally. Because it just looks obvious that we're going to go run up to this rejection block when we get this change in state here. I don't mind this at all. So maybe just taking this as a 1 minute change in state. Stop loss below the momentum candle. And then, yeah, maybe just target 1 to 1. Go break even at this high, or like in between here. Was there a 1 minute SMT? This one's a good base hit, guys. I actually really do like this 1 minute change in state, just because even though price action is not perfect, the way that we pop off the low and the way that we close with momentum really does actually tell a lot. It really does. So I like this CISD. Was there SMT at the low? Let's see. And I wouldn't even look for a key level on this one because I'm content with that. Just a 1 minute CISD. I feel like you don't even need a key level for that one. I'm not gonna lie. Because once again, right, we're just playing the game of liquidity. It doesn't need to be perfect. Having yeah. Once again, change of state delivery is just an entry to go run liquidity. That's all it is. So if the liquidity makes sense, it's the same as an inverse value gap. Inverse value gaps don't need key levels. Why does a change of state delivery need to have one? Now, would I prefer it to have one? Yeah. If inverse value gaps don't have to have key levels, I don't think change of state deliveries need to have one either. Because it's all just highs and lows, right? If it's obvious enough, it should be fine. That's just my opinion. Now, maybe you need to wait for the highest time frame one, but you could also just take it as a front run, which is probably fine. You took the IVG low retest with stop on the swing low. IVG low. Wait, IVG low retest? I don't know. I'm kind of lost. Wait. Oh, you took this. So you actually took the retest of this with stop the swing low. That's pretty good, dude. That actually worked out for you then. That's pretty cool. So yeah, maybe something like this. And you'd have to front run. CSD front run the 2 and 3 minute. And maybe we'll put break even here or something. That'd probably end up being break even. You gotta be a little bit more. Actually, this one you probably just hold it. I don't know, man. This one once again, it's not the most light bulb in the world. It's just an observation. I'm not gonna mark break even. I'm just gonna let it be. So this is probably, just a nice base hit. Not anything crazy. Just very, very modest, humble trade. So 10 a.m. CISD close 1 minute, front running the 3 minute. Yeah, definitely not perfect, but still wanted to take note of it. Okay, so we had the first presented for value gap here. Curious if this got interacted with throughout the day. You can see initially we reject it. I'm actually so curious now that I'm looking at this. This could have been a first strike, right? I don't know if it was, but I just want to look. It's kind of getting a little bit too far into the weeds a little bit with this trade, but I just gonna look at it. It's not gonna take too long. It's getting a little too into the weeds though. Well, actually, it kind of looks kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie, it actually doesn't look bad. I was gonna say this is a little too into the weeds, but I actually don't think it is, dude. It's nice. This is what I mean when I say when I can get better at the lower time frames, I don't mind taking trades like this because it is so precise, right? But once again, I'm not that good yet. I'm not to the point where I'm perfect, but eventually, right? So first presented for value gap. You sweep the high. The main issue isn't that the lower time frames are bad. It's that can you execute correctly and disciplined across all of your accounts and click the button in time and make the decision thoughtfully in a matter of seconds. That's the main issue for me. It's not that I don't like the lower time frames. I think that they're very precise. I just, once again, sometimes I'm not perfect, and I think that just comes with time. Like, it's like trying to play a bullet game of chess, you know? Like, you can be really good at bullet chess, but that takes time. It takes time for me to develop the skill of noticing the change state delivery, noticing the sweep, analyzing the signature of this price action, analyzing this accumulation range, and make a decision in a matter of 5 seconds. That takes time. Just like it takes time to become like a 2000 level bullet chess player. It takes time for me to get to the point where I could take lower time frame trades. I don't think that they're bad, and I think that narrative is wrong, that they're all bad. But am I at the point where I should be taking them all the time? Not necessarily, right? But neither party is right with that, in my opinion. So let's actually get rid of this real quick, and let's mark it out with a box. This is my first strike model. And, you know, once again, what helps with this is being at peace with yourself. If you can just say, objectively, this is a good trade, and then not care about the outcome, you're going to trade a lot better. Your bullet chess rating is 2100? Holy crap, Kirk. You're a genius, bro. That's insane. That's insane. I got mine up to 1300, but I did not do it in the correct way you're supposed to. I would just do hyperbullet, and I would just spam all the buttons. And I don't know. Then I would just make them run at a time. And it was working. It's kind of funny. But that's not the way you're supposed to play. That's impressive, though. I'm not going to lie. You should friend me on chess.com. Jake trades it. And I have a secret chess account that I've been meaning to live stream on, but I haven't been. Eventually, when I have more free time, I want to, you know, maybe make videos on there. I think it'd be cool. I like chess a lot. So yeah, my first strike model, very, very clean. Accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. Right? Can't argue with that. That is looking good. So 9:51. First strike, and 1 minute, 5 second. Okay, I might film the video soon. I don't need to have this cover every little detail. You play on Lee Chess? Nice. Let's just try and skim through the rest of the day, see if there's anything else, right? Post, you know, the New York session was hard. I'm going to be real. The New York session was really hard. If you found a trade, good job. But I don't think it was easy. 15-minute gap here. And then we do have a 1 minute change in state here. That's honestly why this ended up working out so well. This is 15-minute, 1 minute, right? I actually really like this a lot. And it's probably a 2022 gap as well, because measuring this out from high to low, Oh yeah, dude. Oh, this is totally a 2022 for value gap and premium here. Right? You see this? See how everything lines up perfectly? Now, am I always able to see that? No, unfortunately. I wish I was. But it comes with time. It comes with time. Just like probably took time for you to get to 2300 or 2100 in bullet, you know? Like, greatness is not built overnight. It takes a lot of time. 15-minute for value gap, 1 minute change in state. And 2022 for value gap and premium. We actually induced this high into the change in state, making this higher probability. I like that a lot. So once again, guys, we know how to trade. It's not a skill issue with trading. It's not a skill issue with trading as much as it is necessarily like me being at peace with myself and me not feeling the need to rush a trade. I think that's a big thing, and I just need to work on it. Have you looked at JME? He is a Zusi student. I haven't, but he sounds interesting. So you could maybe, with this one, with this flow state retest, I'd honestly consider having stop loss there. Because by the time we run this high, we're probably gonna continue higher. So I would maybe do a tighter stop loss. And then I'd probably measure out standard deviations with the body. Like this. See, I was right. I didn't even know. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that was the way to measure it. And you can see that was actually the right way. That's how you can tell my backtesting's been getting better. Because it's such a long wick, it's going to add unnecessary... it's going to add an unnecessary amount of take profits. So I wouldn't use the wick here. And the distance between the take profits is going to be unnecessarily too far, is what I meant to say. So when it's a long wick like that, I don't use it really. Clean, dude. Clean. Okay. So we'll just look at a few more opportunities. Once again, this 15-minute BPR, I should say, right? This 15-minute BPR was in premium of this displacement. So then we got a 2022 gap. So this is both 15-minute. So we'll mark this out as both, right? And obviously you don't have to target the fourth. You could target the first or the second, which is probably what I would do. But I'm just kind of showing the max extension version of it. So this is a 1150 flow state retest, 15-minute, 1 minute. And then let's also save this as 1150 2022 model. I guess if we're taking it as a 2022 model, we should probably enter at the 2022 for value gap, which now all of a sudden that RR is terrible. So I guess maybe I'm not going to take it like that. Yeah. Three or 330, which was also good because that's when NQ and ES traded in the 4-hour gap. Oh. Let's actually take a look at that. Yeah, that 4-hour gap's looking pretty nice. Looking like the bodies respected it pretty well. Very cool. So, yeah. I noticed this 15-minute inversion. Yeah, I really liked it. I saw it live. But, yeah. I think this could end up being a one setup for life where we inverse this back up to the high. yeah, 4 hour for value gap, and then 15-minute change in state. That kind of feels like what's going on here. I don't know if that's what you were thinking or not, but kind of what it looks like to me. So, yeah, I did try this actually. I probably shouldn't say that, but I tried this and I got stopped at break even. So. But I should not have done it because it's like kind of against my rules, which I'm not super proud of because technically, right, I took 2 losses today, which means continuing to trade today would mean I would take a 3rd loss, so I should not have done that, but I really liked it. So I gotta work on that. Once again, guys, I'm not perfect. I'm a human being, but I want to keep getting better. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like, you know, this isn't even perfect. I think the market recap, we're probably pretty good to film it. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Today was not easy, but yeah, a lot of valuable stuff. Maybe there's a couple more things we can look at. That's awesome, man. It's always good to, you know, see people starting their journey. Yeah, what else is there to look at? Kind of just want to film the video, guys. I'm not gonna lie, today was just such a midday. With the way that we just go and how we have this high resistance liquidity all day. I'm in Idaho. Right? Here's high resistance liquidity. This is exactly what I mean when I say the market's high resistance. It's important to identify these conditions. Okay, I think I'm going to film the video. Once again, I don't feel like today has to be perfect. I think I'd rather just have consistency over perfection, guys. So I'm just going to film it. And I think today's going to be more of a psychological video anyway, so. And I think I'm going to go on a walk for it. Yeah. Today's one of those days where the people who don't have their inner peace figured out, which is what I'm going to talk about in my video today, right? I think today's definitely a psychological type of video. You know, this is what I mean when I say we want profitability to bring us peace, but the reality is, until we find our inner peace, the market's not going to grant us profitability, right? And it sounds deep, but it's true. It's true, and you know, it's a paradox. It's an unfortunate reality of trading. Let's go. I got 2 more subs. It's an unfortunate reality, and the sooner we can flip that switch in our brain to try and figure out how can we grant ourselves that inner peace. I mean, how can we get that inner peace in our lives? What small things can we do to start to work towards that? The faster that profitability is going to come in all other aspects of our life. And yeah, you know, and our lives will get better and all that stuff. But I'm going to talk about that more in the video. I'm going to end it here and then I'm going to film that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this live backtesting session. We're out Wednesday this week and we're killing it. Finally having a good week where, not necessarily good trading week because I've taken some losses, but a good week in the sense that I've been keeping consistent and it's Wednesday and we're still going. So appreciate all you guys. Let's keep going day after day. Definitely watch my video that will come out later today, probably. If it doesn't, that means I suck and I'm the worst. So it better. But yeah, it really is a mirror. It really is. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the market recap. Or, yeah, no. It's going to happen. I'm going to make sure of it. Okay. I'll probably go somewhere cool for it. All right.